Hi, so this is my mom. She's gonna be the audience that's gonna be watching my speech. Alright, here you go. Alright, so before I start, my name is Juan Rodriguez and I'm gonna be talking about the Netherlands. Alright, so when people think about the Netherlands, they mostly think about a country that's mostly small, that's in between Germany and Belgium. And there's nothing much to see but windmills. But that's not necessarily true. And I'm here to inform you that it's more than just a country with windmills. It's full of different diverse culture and traditions, and there's a bunch of things to do. And the reason I'm familiar with this topic is because I'm actually planning on traveling to a city in the Netherlands. Um, it's called Amsterdam. I'm sorry. I actually plan on going on my birthday. But back to the topic. What I'm gonna talk to you about first are what you're mostly gonna see whenever visiting. And second, I'm gonna talk about the religion, tradition, and lastly, I'm gonna talk about the things to do or things to visit whenever you were to travel. Let me start with what you're bound to stumble across the Great Netherlands. Whenever visiting, you're gonna see at least, obviously, a bunch of windmills because there's over 1,000. And the main reason is because they were first installed to transport the water out from the country to increase farming. And whenever their task was done, some of them actually didn't do the same purpose as they did before. They were actually some of them don't actually drain the water out because they were already completed their task, so they're used for other things such as cutting grain. Along with windmills, you're bound to see tulips. There's huge valleys of tulips all throughout the country, and the main reason is because the tulip became the symbol for the Dutch, which it's a Dutch, so it became like a high status during the 17th century. From then on, which eventually promoted the flower in becoming the national flower of the whole country. And because of this, tulips are actually promoting the Kinghof, which is actually the world's biggest garden throughout the whole world. And their main theme is tulips. Another thing you're mostly going to see is cheese, just because they're the main producer throughout the whole world. So some of the famous cheeses are actually named after the parts of small towns of the country, such as Gouda and Edam. Alright, next I'm going to talk to you about the Netherlands' diversity and some traditions that they have. The types of religions they have, the main religion is Roman Catholicism, and it's at 23%. And the main reason it's so low is because 50% of the population actually doesn't have religion. The next highest is Protestantism, which is actually made up of 3 different groups. And some other religions which were at 5% or less are Islamic, Hinduism, Buddhism, Judaism. And some traditional holidays, they actually have similar ones such as us. They have Christmas, Easter, and New Year's, except they actually are way better than ours. Christmas and Easter are actually 2 more days. Not 2 more days, they're actually 2 days instead of 1. But they actually have more meaning than ours. Like in Easter, they have like great masses, egg hunts, and festivals. And Christmas, they don't really exchange gifts. They mostly just celebrate with family, and it's mostly just family and gatherings and all that, and feasts. And unlike us, they have New Year's Day off, which is kind of funny. And another day that they have is called holiday that they have is called King's Day, which is kind of just about the king. Everyone gets it off. They have events in Orange, and they flood the streets, and with parades. And while the king just has they go throughout the country, and it's all planned out, and they go through some part of the country, and watch Folktale. And the fun fact about that is that it wasn't actually King's Day until after 2013. Before 2013, it was actually Queen's Day. Alright, lastly, another holiday that they have is called Sinterklaas, which is actually, I want to say the definition of Christmas, but on the 5th. They celebrate like their version of Santa Claus is the day before his birthday or whatever. And it's mostly planned with families with children. Lastly, I will discuss why people should visit the Netherlands. And it's because there's a place worth visiting, such as the Rijksmuseum Art Museum, which is the biggest art museum in the whole Netherlands. The Netherlands. The Anne Frank House Museum, the Van Gogh Museum, which is the guy that cut off his ear. I don't know if you're familiar with that, the guy with the painting. Another thing that you can see is Mother Nature. Like I said before, you can have the Kinoism, which is the largest flower garden throughout the whole world. And hopefully after this presentation, you actually change your mind about the Netherlands being a small country. Because overall, first I told you about the religion, tradition, things to do, things to see, etc., etc. And like I said before, I hope you feel more educated and want to visit this country like I do. Thank you. Ok, ¿cuánto minutos será? ¿Con 7?
6 y algo.